Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, and I'm on the road heading up towards Topeka. I'll be in Topeka. I'm on north of Independence, Kansas. And anyway, I wanted to kind of show you a little bit. There's a mountain ridge, well, we call them mountains anyway, on the eastern side of Oklahoma and Kansas. There is rolling hills and kind of ridges like that one. And what we're doing, so it's not all flat like the west half of Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, all that. It's flat. I mean, it's real flat. But as you can see, we've got some hills and, you know, I really wouldn't call them mountains, but it'd be considered Kansas mountains. And, but anyway, I wanted to share that with you and let you know it's not always the way you think it is. And as I've been traveling, I gotta remember I went out to DC and then south and then all the way down to Florida and then coming across, going up, back up to Kansas now. But so I've seen a lot of weird stuff. And but anyway, what I want to talk about is credible evidence. It's one of the things that I'm faced with. I'm having to deal with people that oh, you see, I saw that Mustang go by. When I came back from Vietnam, I got a Mustang Mach 1. Yeah, I'm playing with a Mach 1. And it was a 327 Cobra Jet engine in it. Boy, that sucker really moved. But anyway, back to credible evidence. I'm faced with people. Now, you got to remember, the people that I stop and see, they've text me when I got to their area, and you got to remember, these people are the ones that watch my videos. And the ones that watch my videos, they think. They don't blindly follow. They think. And and they're looking not for just credible evidence, but they're also looking for information that could be used to help them prepare for what's going on in some cases and what's coming up nationwide, and health, natural health. And so when on all of these particular subjects, it's funny because you can't find any credible evidence. There is none. Anytime, well, okay, the borders right now, the southern border, people are flocking in. They're just pouring in. And the evidence, but it's not credible evidence, but the evidence is it's bad. It's real bad. It's a disaster. But according to the government, it's a challenge. And it's, in other words, if the credible evidence isn't what I hate to say this, but the powers that have control, if it's not what they want, then they're going to come up with other evidence, and they're going to call that credible evidence. So credible evidence isn't what it used to be. We've realized that the words and the English language has been changed to mean things that it doesn't really mean. And that's, so then the powers can justify whatever they want to be justified. Now, and it's not just the powers, because it'll also go for individuals. Because you can look and see what do the individuals look at, and they look at it as fact, and these other individuals don't. It's one person will say this is credible evidence, but somebody else will say no, it's not. Here, this is credible evidence, and it's the opposite. And I mean, the thing that I see on something like that would be, you have the constitutionalists like me, and that believe in the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, the rights that we have, and some of these rights are God-given rights that has nothing to do with the government. And then you have others, and they don't say it, but you can see the way what they're talking about is they're communists, and they want more control over the individuals. Now we're getting ready to get into guns. They want guns, and it's amazing. A gun. What does a gun have to do with something? The credible evidence that guns are danger and need to be taken away. Because on the other side, there's credible evidence again saying that how many people have defended themselves, and not even having to shoot, but just pulling out a firearm. So, and not all those are reported. So, I mean, you can twist things around and get credible evidence. And then there's studies. I love studies, because look who pays for the study, and you will see it's kind of going that direction. A study, and then after they get the results they want from this study, now they will publicize it. They will spend the money and publicize it. Now, if it doesn't turn out the way they wanted it, well, then they stop funding it, and that's it. And now you won't get a complete study. And another thing is, they'll study things, but they're only studying so much. This was Neil Shea. I'm sorry, we just went right through Neil Shea. Got me all sidetracked. And Neil Shea, Kansas. And in Vietnam, the bug spray was manufactured and packaged here in Neil Shea. But anyway, you can see this sign right here, Altoona and Yates Center is coming up. Yates Center is about in the middle of the state, and there's a line that you have a, now it doesn't, this isn't the same now as it used to be, but in the past, 50 years ago, north of that was northern mentality and south was southern mentality. So Kansas was one of these states that was, you know, half southern, half northern, and that's why I didn't do well in the northern part, and that's why I moved. Well, my dad sent me down to the southern part of the state. They're a little more, well, they're not as strict when it comes to laws. Laws are more of a guideline, not something everybody has to stand in line and do it. You know, so, but anyway, we're talking about studies, and but they don't always have all the facts when they study this stuff. According to the facts that they have, are not enough material to study. But according to what the materials they have to study, yes, they come up with a conclusion, but they may not have all the information needed to do a thorough study. And it's the same thing if who's paying for the study. Now, I would love to have somebody that's going to go through and study the Hoi Chi. And so far, every place that I've introduced Hoi Chi to, and I've been watched by doctors from the U.S. and doctors from Europe, and it wasn't, I wouldn't call it a complete study, but they watched what I did and tried. I was looking for somebody to explain what it is that I'm doing. They have no ideas. Both those doctors from Europe and United States said that they don't look at the body the same as I do. And if you've had a Hoi Chi treatment, you know it's very simple. I describe how the organs work, how they work together, and this kind of stuff very simply. It's not hard to understand. And when you have a treatment, most people will understand it. There's some people right back to the same thing that says, what is the evidence that this is? And like I say, other than I've had doctors and I told them, tell me if I'm saying something wrong or doing something wrong. And boy, you see that? I almost had a collision. Guy passed me in the wrong place. Or right place, but he didn't look far enough ahead to see the cars coming. But anyway, you have to, the best for me, the best that's gotten me through all of life and all the different places that I've been, all the different situations I've been in, is not the evidence. What has got me through everything has been understanding. And I have to get to the level where I understand something before I can make a judgment that would be clear and explainable to others. And most of all, to be moral. To be able to have a moral decision, something that I can have faith in and stand behind, I have to understand it. And that's why some of the stuff I talk about, I understand and I try to make it clear for others, while some of it, and I say that I'm learning, and this is what I've learned, this is what's going on, this is what I'm thinking, and this kind of stuff. And it's to help others and myself by saying it out loud, talking about it. It helps me understand that I am trying to understand what it is that I see and understand what's going on, to get the thorough best out of whatever it is that I'm getting involved in. Now, and that's going to be about it. But like I say, I've been questioned a lot, or not a lot, but there's been people that, you know, they don't think. They just blindly follow. The mask is a good example. And, you know, and since I'm RVing, my lifestyle is different, and somebody else RVing, and people understand it. Once you've been RVing, you understand what applies to you may not apply to the other RVer, you know, because there's a lot of difference, and a lot of things we have to think on. So, but anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit more, and because like I say, I'm not out to mislead anybody. I am out to make people think. That's Rex. You're gonna see she's holding her position. And it's Mike. NoStressMike.com.